Life is a series of choices, each one steering us down a unique path. The philosophy of Stoicism, championed by the likes of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, offers invaluable insights into making decisions that can shape our lives in profound ways. In this exploration, we'll delve into 10 decisions inspired by Stoic principles that have the power to transform your journey. These decisions are not merely fleeting moments, but rather deliberate choices that align with the core tenets of Stoicism, leading to a life of wisdom, resilience, and purpose. So let's embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment as we uncover the 10 decisions that can truly change your life through the lens of Stoicism. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and don't skip any part of this video. So let's embark on this journey together, embracing the wisdom of the Stoics and transforming our lives for the better. Number 1. Say yes to what matters. Every time we say yes to something, we are making a deliberate choice to invest our time and energy. This means that every yes implicitly comes with a no to something else. Seneca wisely noted, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This insight challenges us to be more selective and intentional with our commitments. How often do we find ourselves saying yes out of habit, obligation, or fear of missing out, only to realize later that those choices did not add value to our lives? To say yes to what matters, we need to pause and reflect on our priorities. Ask yourself, is this truly important? Will it matter in a year, 5 years, or 10 years? This line of questioning helps filter out the noise and focus on what genuinely aligns with our values and long-term goals. For instance, consider the difference between spending time with loved ones versus getting caught up in trivial social media debates. One nourishes our relationships and well-being, while the other often leads to unnecessary stress and distraction. Saying yes to what matters is not just about grand gestures or major life decisions. It's also about the small, everyday choices that collectively shape our lives. Imagine starting your day with a few moments of gratitude, acknowledging the gift of life itself, as Marcus Aurelius suggested. This simple practice can set a positive tone for the day and remind us to appreciate the little things that often go unnoticed. Stoicism teaches us to cherish life and live purposefully. This means recognizing that every moment is a gift and should be used wisely. Each day presents countless opportunities to practice this principle. Whether it's dedicating time to a meaningful project, engaging in deep conversations, or simply enjoying a quiet moment of reflection, these are the choices that enrich our lives and bring us closer to our true selves. It's also essential to remember that saying yes to what matters often requires saying no to what doesn't. This can be challenging, especially when it involves letting go of habits, commitments, or even relationships that no longer serve us. However, by doing so, we free up space and energy for what truly resonates with our core values. As the Stoics would advise, this process is not about deprivation, but about making room for abundance in the areas that count. Number 2, be disciplined. Discipline starts with recognizing that every day presents us with countless choices. Some are mundane, like deciding what to have for breakfast, while others are more significant, such as choosing how to respond to a challenging situation. Regardless of the scale, each choice is an opportunity to practice discipline. It's about consistently making decisions that align with our values and long-term goals, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. Consider the daily habits that shape our lives. Stoicism teaches us the importance of routines and practices that cultivate a disciplined mind. For example, beginning the day with a moment of reflection or meditation can set a focused and intentional tone. This practice, which Marcus Aurelius himself engaged in, helps center our thoughts and prepare us for the challenges ahead. It's in these quiet moments of introspection that we build the mental fortitude needed to face the day's adversities. Seneca emphasized the power of thoughts in shaping our lives. He said, "We become what we think about most of the time." Seneca emphasized the power of thoughts in shaping our lives. He said, "We become what we think about most of the time." This underscores the importance of disciplined thinking. By training our minds to focus on what is within our control and letting go of what is not, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and strength. This mental discipline is not about suppressing emotions, but about managing them in a way that serves our highest good. Physical discipline is equally important. The Stoics believe that taking care of our bodies is a form of respect for ourselves and the life we have been given. Regular exercise, mindful eating, and adequate rest are not just about maintaining health, but about building resilience. When our bodies are strong and well-nourished, our minds are more capable of handling stress and adversity. This holistic approach to discipline ensures that we are prepared to meet life's challenges with vigor and clarity. Discipline also involves the courage to say no to distractions and temptations that pull us away from our goals. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get sidetracked by social media, endless entertainment options, or even the allure of procrastination. Stoicism teaches us the value of staying true to our path. It's about prioritizing what's truly important and being willing to forego immediate gratification for long-term fulfillment. This might mean setting boundaries, creating a structured schedule, or simply being mindful of how we spend our time. It's important to remember that discipline is a practice, not a destination. There will be days when we falter, when motivation wanes, or when we give in to distractions. The key is to approach these moments with self-compassion and a commitment to get back on track. Stoicism encourages us to view each day as a new beginning, a chance to start anew with renewed focus and determination. As Seneca wisely noted, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Incorporating discipline into our lives transforms the way we approach both the mundane and the extraordinary. It empowers us to live with intention, to make choices that reflect our values, and to face challenges with courage and grace. By being disciplined, we are not only more effective in achieving our goals, but also more aligned with our true selves. Discipline is about taking control of our lives and steering them in a direction that aligns with our deepest values and aspirations. It's about realizing that every small action, every daily habit, contributes to the larger tapestry of our lives. By embracing the Stoic principles of discipline, we can navigate life's unpredictability with strength and purpose, creating a life of meaning and fulfillment. So, let us commit to being disciplined, to harnessing the power of our minds, and to living each day with intention and resilience. Number 3, do not suffer in advance. Seneca wisely observed, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." This insight sheds light on a common human experience. Much of our suffering is self-inflicted, born from our minds projecting fears and worst-case scenarios that may never come to pass. Consider how often we let our thoughts wander to the future, concocting elaborate stories about what might happen. These imagined fears can be as varied as worrying about an upcoming presentation at work, fretting over potential health issues, or agonizing over financial stability. While some level of preparation and foresight is prudent, allowing these fears to dominate our thoughts can lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety. Stoicism teaches us to anchor ourselves in the present moment, dealing with challenges as they arise, rather than being burdened by hypothetical troubles. Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful antidote to this kind of anticipatory suffering. In his Meditations, he writes, "Do not disturb yourself by picturing your life as a whole." Of anticipatory suffering. In his Meditations, he writes, "Do not disturb yourself by picturing your life as a whole." Do not assemble in your mind the many and varied troubles which have come to you in the past and will come again in the future. This advice encourages us to break free from the mental habit of bundling past and future worries into a single overwhelming burden. Instead, we should focus on the present moment, addressing one issue at a time with calm and clarity. Our minds have an incredible capacity to create vivid scenarios. This imagination is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows us to innovate and dream. On the other hand, it can lead us down a rabbit hole of fear and anxiety. The Stoics understood this duality and emphasized the importance of harnessing our imagination for constructive purposes while preventing it from becoming a source of unnecessary suffering. By focusing on what is real and immediate, we can conserve our mental energy for dealing with actual problems rather than imagined ones. Another aspect of not suffering in advance is cultivating an attitude of acceptance towards uncertainty. Life, by its very nature, is unpredictable. Trying to control every outcome is not only impossible, but also a source of constant frustration. Stoicism teaches us to accept that uncertainty is a fundamental part of life. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. Rather, it means acknowledging what we cannot change and focusing our efforts on what we can influence. As the Serenity Prayer wisely puts it, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Incorporating this Stoic mindset into our daily lives can transform the way we handle stress and anxiety. When faced with uncertainty or potential challenges, remind yourself of Seneca's wisdom. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Take a deep breath and bring your focus back to the present moment. Ask yourself, what can I do right now that is constructive and within my control? This simple shift in perspective can alleviate a great deal of unnecessary suffering and allow you to approach life's uncertainties with greater equanimity. Number 4, stop wasting time. Seneca captured this sentiment perfectly when he wrote, "Putting things off is the biggest waste of life." This powerful statement challenges us to consider how often we procrastinate, delay, or fritter away precious moments on activities that add little to no value to our lives. In a world filled with endless distractions, this Stoic advice is more relevant than ever. Think about the modern conveniences and technologies designed to save us time. Yet ironically, they often become the very things that consume it. Social media, streaming services, and instant messaging can easily eat up hours of our day if we're not mindful. While these tools can offer relaxation and connection, it's crucial to recognize when they're pulling us away from more meaningful pursuits. Seneca's wisdom urges us to take a hard look at how we're spending our time and to reclaim it for activities that truly matter. Procrastination, often dubbed the thief of time, is another significant hurdle. It's that nagging habit of delaying tasks, convincing ourselves that tomorrow will be a better day to start. But as the Stoics remind us, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This poignant reminder of life's impermanence should motivate us to act with urgency and purpose. By understanding that our time is limited, we can push ourselves to stop procrastinating and start taking action on our goals and dreams today. Consider the impact of procrastination on our goals. When we delay working on our aspirations, we not only push back our progress, but also diminish our potential achievements. Each day we postpone, we lose a day we could have used to move closer to our dreams. The Stoic approach is to begin at once, to live each day as if it were our last, fully embracing the present moment. This mindset helps us focus on what needs to be done now rather than what can be put off until later. Another key aspect of stopping the waste of time is prioritization. Stoicism teaches us to discern what is truly important and to dedicate our time and energy accordingly. This means identifying our core values and aligning our daily actions with them. For instance, if we value personal growth, we might prioritize reading, learning new skills, or engaging in reflective practices like journaling or meditation. If relationships are important to us, we should make time for meaningful conversations and connections with loved ones. By prioritizing what matters most, we ensure that our time is spent on activities that enrich our lives and align with our deeper purpose. Moreover, stopping the waste of time involves being mindful of how we approach our daily tasks. It's about cultivating a sense of presence and intention in everything we do. Instead of mindlessly going through the motions, the Stoics encourage us to be fully engaged in our activities, whether it's working on a project, exercising, or spending time with family. This level of mindfulness not only enhances our productivity, but also our overall sense of fulfillment. When we are truly present, we can extract more meaning and satisfaction from our experiences, making our time feel well spent. The Stoic practice of memento mori, or reflecting on mortality, can also be a powerful motivator to stop wasting time. By contemplating the finite nature of our lives, we can gain a clearer perspective on what is truly important. This reflection doesn't need to be morbid. Rather, it can be a source of inspiration to live more fully and intentionally. When we acknowledge that our time is limited, we become more aware of the choices we make and more determined to make each moment count. Eliminating time-wasting habits requires a conscious effort to set boundaries and create a structured routine. This might mean setting specific times for checking emails or social media, dedicating blocks of time to focused work, and ensuring that we allocate time for rest and rejuvenation. A well-structured routine helps us stay on track and prevents the drift into aimless activities. By being intentional with our schedule, we can maximize our productivity and ensure that our time is used effectively. But let's not forget the importance of taking breaks and allowing ourselves time to rest. While it's crucial to avoid wasting time, it's equally important to recognize that rest and relaxation are not wastes of time when done purposefully. The Stoics believed in balance and moderation, understanding that a well-rested mind is more capable of focused and meaningful work. So, schedule your downtime just as you would any important task, and use it to recharge and refresh your mind and body. Emotions are an integral part of the human experience. They add richness and depth to our lives, but they can also be overwhelming and disruptive if not properly managed. The Stoics recognize that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond to it. This ability to choose our response is where true freedom lies. Seneca emphasized this point when he said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery in this context is the courage to face our emotions head-on and to master them rather than be mastered by them. One practical way to control your emotions is through the practice of mindfulness. By becoming more aware of our thoughts and feelings as they arise, we can create a space between stimulus and response. This space allows us to choose how we want to react rather than being swept away by our initial emotional impulses. For example, if someone says something hurtful, instead of immediately reacting with anger or defensiveness, we can take a moment to breathe, observe our feelings, and respond calmly and thoughtfully. This mindful approach is deeply rooted in Stoic teachings and can lead to more harmonious interactions and a greater sense of inner peace. Another Stoic technique for managing emotions is cognitive distancing, which involves viewing our emotions from a detached perspective. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that his mind has the power to separate itself from negative emotions. He wrote, "The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." By seeing emotions as temporary states, rather than defining characteristics, we can reduce their grip on us. This perspective helps us understand that while emotions are natural, they don't have to control our actions or dictate our mood. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of examining the stories we tell ourselves. Often, our emotional reactions are based on the narratives we construct about our experiences. For instance, if we fail at a task, we might tell ourselves a story that we are incompetent or doomed to fail in the future. These narratives can amplify negative emotions and lead to unnecessary suffering. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to challenge these stories and replace them with more constructive ones. For example, instead of viewing a failure as a reflection of our worth, we can see it as a learning opportunity and a step towards growth. Emotional regulation is not about suppressing or denying our feelings. Rather, it's about understanding and managing them in a healthy way. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to challenge these stories and replace them with more constructive ones. For example, instead of viewing a failure as a reflection of our worth, we can see it as a learning opportunity and a step towards growth. Emotional regulation is not about suppressing or denying our feelings. Rather, it's about understanding and managing them in a healthy way. The Stoics believed in the value of rationality and reason as tools for navigating emotions. By engaging our rational mind, we can assess our feelings and determine the most appropriate course of action. This doesn't mean ignoring emotions, but rather integrating them into our decision-making process in a balanced and thoughtful manner. Consider the role of self-compassion in emotional regulation. The Stoics advocated for kindness and understanding towards oneself, recognizing that everyone makes mistakes and experiences emotional turmoil. By practicing self-compassion, we can navigate our emotions with greater ease and reduce the self-criticism that often accompanies negative feelings. This gentle approach allows us to process emotions without getting stuck in them. Another aspect of controlling your emotions is focusing on what is within your control. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. This principle is captured in the Serenity Prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. By directing our energy towards what we can influence, we can avoid the frustration and helplessness that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. This focus on internal control empowers us to handle our emotions more effectively and maintain a sense of agency in our lives. Practicing gratitude can be a powerful tool for emotional regulation. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the good things in his life to counterbalance negative emotions. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating the positive aspects of our lives, we can shift our focus away from what's lacking or troubling and towards what brings us joy and fulfillment. This practice can create a more positive emotional baseline, making it easier to manage challenging emotions when they arise. It's also important to recognize the value of emotional resilience, which is the ability to bounce back from adversity. The Stoics believe that facing and overcoming challenges strengthens our character and emotional fortitude. Seneca noted, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." By embracing challenges and viewing them as opportunities for growth, we can build resilience and become more adept at handling difficult emotions. This resilience enables us to recover more quickly from setbacks and maintain our emotional equilibrium. And that's where we'll pause for today. These first 5 decisions aren't motivation. They're a way of living. Say yes to what matters. Train discipline. Stop suffering in advance. Stop wasting time. And learn to master your emotions instead of letting them master you. If you can apply even one of these this week, you'll feel your life start to shift. In the next video, we'll finish the list with decisions 6 through 10. And they might be the most transformative ones yet. If this helped you, hit subscribe, leave a comment with the one decision you're choosing today, and share this with someone who needs a Stoic reset. Until next time. Stay calm, stay sharp, and live with intention.